Yo.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
yo, yo.
You guys are silly.
Hey, yo, yo.
Oh, you're so silly.
Where's Ashley at?
She already did it.
Okay.
Okay, go. To start with, I would like to say I am just as guilty as many of you by eating and driving. As you know, it is not safe to eat or drink when you are behind the wheel. I have done research on this subject and found that eating and driving is just as dangerous as texting and driving. Not only is it dangerous, but you could cause harm to someone else by not paying attention. A study was done by ExxonMobil on 1,000 drivers, and 70% of them admitted to eating behind the wheel, and 83% admitted to drinking beverages while driving. This would also make your reaction time 44% slower while you are indulging in a snack, according to the University of Leeds. Not only that, your response time will be 22% slower and 18% on lane change control. This being said, I, like many of you, are guilty, but we should try to stop any before anyone gets seriously hurt. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration came to the conclusion that people who eat behind the wheel increase their odds of having an accident by 80%. These odds are astounding. With that said, 65% of all near-miss accidents were caused by people messing with their food or drinks. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration went as far as listing the most dangerous foods and drinks that should not be eaten or drank behind the wheel. It is hard to believe, but the number one thing not to drink is coffee. Since thousands of people cannot function without the first cup, it is not surprising it made number one. Some others that made the list are soft drinks, of course, hamburgers, guilty as charged, are they funny? Tacos, not tried this one, but could be interesting. And finally, soups. Don't think I would try this one, don't want to get burned. The Glitex Data Company says that a person is 3.6 times more likely to have an accident while they are eating and driving. Distracted driving is a major factor in collisions. In their study, they said that eating, drinking, smartphones, and tablets are the leading causes of auto accidents in the U.S. While looking up some interesting facts on eating and driving, I came across a story written in the Daily News about whether you can be ticketed for eating and driving. A law was passed in Ontario that no handheld devices were to be used while driving. The law came in effect in 2009. A driver can only use a handheld device to call 911. If you were to visit Ontario, you could not scroll through your contacts on the phone or program your GPS while driving because it is a distraction. You can't afford a distraction you can't afford to have. Even though it is not against the law to eat or drive, you could be charged with careless or dangerous driving. Any driver that is convicted of careless driving will receive 6 demerits and a fine up to $2,000 and or jail time up to 6 months. In a much more severe case, you could have your license suspended or up to 2 years. Even though it is not prohibited to eat and drink while you drive, it could hinder your driving tasks. If, for instance, you are consuming foods while driving, you are less likely to make evasive maneuvers to prevent the accident. I would like to conclude that eating and driving while I would like to conclude that eating and drinking while driving, a majority of the accidents happen in the morning, while traveling to work or home. People like to look their best in the morning, and one spill will devastate anyone. A majority of these spills happen when you are running behind. If at possible, you could try and not drink or eat while driving. You and I could possibly save a life. Thank you for your patience and cooperation.